Good afternoon, gentlemen. I am editing and recording this video for your benefit. Hopefully you'll be able to use this to more easily serve for the first time as Acolyte 2 at St. Teresa's Little Flower. There are only a couple of changes associated with serving as Acolyte 2 at St. Teresa's Little Flower. They are that you do not kneel at the altar for the beginning of the Mass. You're going to go over and stay on the credence table portion of the sanctuary. You're going to remain there for the first part of the Mass. And the second one is you're going to move the book for Father to incense the altar. I'll get into that rubrical change, which is really quite simple, here in a second. Before I do that, I'll just go into a little bit of a summary of what you do as Acolyte 2 in a Mass at St. Teresa's Little Flower. At the beginning of the Mass, you process in, you move through the sanctuary and put your candles up, and then you go to your chairs over to the left side as you're looking at it of the credence table. For the most part, you can just follow Acolyte 1's lead. He'll be kind of in charge of all of your movements. Once you're there, you have the prayers at the foot of the altar, and then right after the prayers at the foot of the altar are done comes the first incensing of the altar. The MC and the thurifer will go up, and you'll sort of move in behind them. You'll bow and you'll go up and get the book. Again, we'll get to that a little bit later, but that'll be the first time you go and retrieve the book. After you're done with the book, you'll go back to your spot, and you'll remain there all the way up to the gospel. When you go and get your candles, and you go to the center, and you wait for the crucifer to bring the book over with him for the chanting of the gospel. Very similar to the way we work with Blessed Sacrament, with the exception that the crucifer is going to follow along with you more or less in the center, and you'll just wait for the MC to come down. The thurifer is going to do his own thing. Once you've completed the gospel, you move back over with the crucifer through the sanctuary. You can put your candles up, yeah, Father will have a sermon, and then begins the second portion, what I would consider the second portion of the Mass, which is the beginning of the offertory. For that, it's very similar to Blessed Sacrament. The first thing you'll do is, after he removes the chalice veil, Acolyte 1 will be leading all of this, but I'm just surmising. After Father removes the chalice veil, you'll present the cruets the first time. You'll go back to the credence table, and then as Acolyte 2, you'll go around in front of the altar, genuflect to the center, and go to the gospel side to get ready to move the book for the second incensing. Once the second incensing is done, you're going to end up putting the book up, move back across the sanctuary to where Acolyte 1 is. If he's still available, you can help with the washing of the hands. If not, you'll just return to your seat next to the credence table. After that's done, the thurifer is going to incense you guys, and after that's done, you're going to be kneeling the remainder of the Mass. Well, not the remainder of the Mass, I'm sorry. You're going to be kneeling all the way up to the Paternoster. At the beginning of the Paternoster, my bad, let's move backwards a second. You'll go and you'll kneel down after the thurifer incenses you, and then begins the preface. At the beginning of the preface, you're going to just be kneeling, and as the preface moves along through it, as it gets towards the end, you'll go over, grab your candle, just like you would for the Mass of the Blessed Sacrament, and you'll grab your candles and go to your spots on the altar and kneel through the offertory and into the consecration, through the consecration, all the way up to the Paternoster, at which point at the Paternoster, you'll get up and you'll come to the center and genuflect. And then you'll go and you'll do the altar cloth. You'll put your candle up before you start the altar cloth, so you'll go to the gate split, go to the ends, put your candles up, come to the center, genuflect to do the epistle side first. Acolyte 1 will be helping you with all of this. Go to the epistle side first, do that side, Then you'll wait for Acolyte 1 to come back, genuflect to go to the gospel side, do the gospel side altar or handrail cloth, and move back to the center, genuflect, and then go back to your places in front of the or next to the credence table, and you'll kneel there until the communion, which is when Thurifer, Crucifer, and the two acolytes all get up together. You come to the center and get ready for the confiteor. You do the confiteor, you receive communion, you go back to your spot next to the credence table, and sorry about that. You go back to your spot next to the credence table and you kneel through the communion, and once communion's done, Father's put up the Blessed Sacrament, and you get up, you go get the cruets, present the cruets for the second ablutions. Once that's done, you go back, put your cruets up, you come to the center with Acolyte 1, and you both genuflect. You go get the book on the gospel side, gets the chalice veil, you come down the short way, you genuflect together, you go in front of Acolyte 1 and put the book up, take a step back so the MC can reset the book, and once Acolyte 1's done, you'll both bow, go around the long way, come to the center, genuflect, and go back to your, you'll genuflect, and then you'll go undo everything you did with the communion rail. You'll undo the gospel side first, then you'll undo the epistle side, then you'll go get your candles, come to the center, genuflect, go and put your candles up, and you're done for the remainder of the Mass at that point, because then you're done. Once Father does the last gospel and that's completed, you'll go get your candles with the crucifer, you'll go to the center, get ready to process out. That's it. I might need to do a more, the more I talk about this, the more I realize I might need to do a more in-depth video on this. But getting past all of that, the main change for Acolyte 2 is getting the book for Father. After the end of the prayers at the foot of the altar, Father is going to ascend the altar, and the MC is going to go and get the Thurifer, who are then going to come together and get ready to impose incense with Father. You're just going to sort of follow behind them, just sort of stand behind them. Once they go up to impose incense, you'll go up too, so you'll come up to the first step, you'll genuflect, and you ascend all the way up. You take the book in your hand, and you bow, you turn, you ascend back down, and you stand here. Father will then start incensing the altar, and he'll move around this way. Once he's once the Thurifer is out of the way, you can go back up, genuflect, ascend all the way up, put the book down, bow, turn, go back down, genuflect, and then return to your spot. That's how you do it for the first imposition of incense. At the second imposition of incense, it will come after you have presented the water and the wine, sort of between when you present the water and the wine for ablutions and you wash Father's hands. After you're done presenting the water and the wine, you guys will, the Acolyte 1 and you and the Acolyte 2 will move out of the way. MC and Thurifer will move up and get ready to impose incense. Once you put the cruet down for the water, once you put the cruet down for the water, you immediately turn around, come to the center of the sanctuary and genuflect. The book will be on the gospel side. You come around and you wait. Once Father's done imposing incense, once the thurible drops, that's when you genuflect, you go up, you grab the book, you go down, and you wait. Let's take that back a step, I'm sorry. As soon as they come up to impose incense, don't wait. Once they come up to impose incense, you immediately go up, grab the book, and come down. You wait for them to go around the altar. They'll go all the way around You just wait until they get to the center. They'll genuflect and start to move over to the right side. Once they've genuflected and start to move to the right, then you can go back up. Then you can genuflect, go back up, put the book down where it was, bow, go back down, genuflect, move back around to the center. And really, Father's probably already going to be in the process of washing his hands, so you would just go back to your seat over here at the Credence table. And that's really it. That's the primary change for Acolyte 2 in Mass and Sanctuaries, the Little Flower. I hope this helps.